This is the 2026 Toyota Tundra. It is a full-size, light-duty truck, which might seem a little bit silly when we're looking at something this big, but that's just where we are in today's truck market. This is light-duty, which means it competes against the Ford F-150, Ram 1500, Chevy Silverado 1500, GMC Sierra 1500. So we've got to give kudos to Toyota for avoiding the numbers 1, 5, and 0 in their naming scheme. That was clearly a brave move. Now, what I would like to know from you right off the bat, are you watching this video because you're cross-shopping this against one of those competitors, or is it because you're pretty sure that this is what you want? See, I have this sense that truck people tend to be pretty brand loyal, but I'm open to having that corrected, so please let us know in the comments. Because I can't know the answer to that before filming this video, that's just not how time works, I'm going to try to cater to both audiences, and you can let us know how you think I do. There is a new color for 2026. It's called Wavemaker, and this is not it. You would know it if you saw it because it is very bright. So bright, in fact, that you cannot get it with the red interior. I tried on the builder. They just will not allow it. And the reason we don't have that is because it's exclusive to the TRD Pro trim. This is a thing that Toyota does every year, and I don't have the TRD Pro trim today. I have the Platinum, but I do have the TRD Off-Road package, which is why I have this special grille. It says TRD right here. We've also got skid plates and a few other goodies that we're going to get into as we move down the truck and inside. As part of that TRD off-road package, we have special 20-inch TRD alloy wheels with all-terrain tires. We also have mud guards, so that's a nice thing. This wheel size is not special, though, for the Platinum. Every Tundra Platinum gets 20-inch wheels, just not necessarily these ones. Wheel sizes across the lineup range from 18 to 22 inches. You're only going to get those largest ones on the Tundra Capstone. That's the top trim. It's basically Toyota's version of a luxury truck. Every Tundra is four-door. There's either the double cab or the Crew Max cab. Double cab is only available on your two lower trims, which are also the only ones where you can get the 8.1-foot bed, which is super long, almost 3 feet longer than this. This is the 5.5-foot. That's because your lower trims are basically your work trucks. Then you move up a little bit and everyone is working with the Crew Max cab, which is what we have today. Now, every Tundra does get a power rear window, which is a nice thing. Sometimes though, they open horizontally. This has the one that opens vertically. It's the entire rear glass that goes down. 4Runner vibes, really pretty cool. Just a couple cool things to mention back here. The tow hitch is newly standard with a little spot for your trailer wiring right there. And then this is really cool. Now imagine my hands are full. I can just go like this. Hands are still full, hands are still full. Put this down on the back there. And I could step up here and push my stuff the rest of the way in. I actually did wind up doing that this weekend. If for some reason I was taking something back out of the truck, hands are still full, I can go like this. Voila, dropped it. By the way, these power running boards, these are available now on more versions of the Tundra. They are only standard on the Capstone trim. So here it's a $1,350 option, but this has been clutch in my time with the Tundra as a shorter person, for one thing. Right? This is super helpful, especially for putting my coffee all the way into the center console with no sloshing. We've got a red start button as part of that TRD off-road package and a leather-wrapped shift knob and aluminum sport pedals. So those are cool, fun little things. Everything else we're looking at here, though, is just part of the Tundra Platinum trim. So that includes panoramic moonroof, heated and ventilated front seats. That's a really nice comfort feature. These are not my favorite car seats that I've ever sat in. I kept finding myself this whole week wishing I could adjust them a little bit more. And I think it's me, honestly. I think the problem is me. It's just my anatomy with these seats, not the perfect match. So it's a me problem, but it's a good reminder that you should definitely sit in whatever vehicle you're considering and make sure it's a good fit for you. Now, other interior things here in the Tundra, we've got a lot of different kinds of storage here in the center console. All these different things open up. There are different levels in there. So that's, kind of cool. The layout is very familiar Toyota truck. Everything's really kind of purposeful looking, and all the controls are really chunky. It's very like, you are in a truck. Nothing here is wishy-washy at all. So I mentioned you can get Crew Max or double cab, and this is the Crew Max. The difference is really in legroom and in your comfort features for the back seat. So these vents here for the rear seats, those are newly standard for 2026 on the Crew Max cab. I have 41.6 inches of legroom. Looks like a ton because that's my driving position right there. That is actually more legroom than you get in the front row. But if this were the double cab, I would have 33.3 inches of legroom, and that is less than you get in the rear seat of the Toyota Corolla. So that's kind of an interesting data point, just a little fun context for you. If you're thinking about storage, rear seats fold down, and there is also storage here underneath these seats with adjustable partitions in this little box down here. You don't get this though in the hybrid model because that's where the batteries live. So as we've seen, I do not have the hybrid powertrain today. That would be the iForce Max. I have the iForce, so that's the twin turbo V6. It makes 389 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque. You get a little less power output from the base tune that's in the base SR trim. If I had the hybrid, that would give us a little bit more power output thanks to the electric motor's extra boost. Now, every 2026 Toyota Tundra comes with a 10-speed automatic transmission, and this is old news now, but worth mentioning for those who are still looking for it, there is no V8. There is also no diesel option for the Tundra. Rear-wheel drive is standard, four-wheel drive is optional, although of course it is standard on a few select, more performance-oriented trims. It's part-time four-wheel drive, so you do have the 2-speed transfer case, and right here there's the selector for 4 high or 4 low. So the Tundra still has the coil spring rear suspension as it has since 2022. Front suspension varies a little bit for the specialty trims, but in general it's going to be independent double wishbone. The ride is really pretty comfortable. I'm a little bit surprised at how comfortable it is, and I think some of that is because of those all-terrain tires. I haven't looked it up, but my guess would be that these are a bit higher profile than the tires you get on the regular 20-inch wheels on the Platinum trim. So that's giving us a little bit of extra rubber and a slightly more comfortable ride. Handling is good. Visibility is not awesome, particularly the little kink at the back right before the end of the cab. That I kept thinking was a car when I was looking over my shoulder on the way up here. So not great. And this opening is not that big for the windshield, but cameras are good. This one happens to have the surround view, and that was really helpful for me the other day in traffic. I had no idea that there was enough room for me to go around the person in front of me or the bus that was parked on the side of the road, but looking at the camera, plenty of space. That guided me right through, and that was great. The Tundra can tow a maximum of 12,000 pounds when properly configured with the right bed length, powertrain, and trim combination. It can handle a payload capacity of up to 2,000 pounds, again, with the right build. Those sound like huge numbers, and they are outside the world of full-size trucks. Here, they're just okay. For example, the F-150 and the Silverado 1500, those can both tow over 13,000 pounds and handle close to 2,500 pounds of payload. The Ram 1500, on the other hand, can only tow up to 11,610 pounds, so this is just kind of middling. A 32.2 gallon gas tank is standard as of this model year, and so since the EPA says the Tundra should get between 19 and 22 miles per gallon combined depending on powertrain, that means we're looking at a range of a little over 600 to a little over 700 miles on a full tank. EVs just have me thinking about range. I averaged 16 miles per gallon on my way up here, which is not great, but I will take responsibility for some of that. Sitting in traffic, and I was running late, so I was rushing a little bit. Old Leadfoot Harrington came out for that one. Now, speaking of my drive up here, I do have to mention that there is no analog to Super Cruise or Blue Cruise from Toyota. You are gonna have to drive this truck yourself, but it does have adaptive cruise control. That'll help you out a little bit. Brakes, let's see. Check. No, the brakes are good. I don't really have any major commentary on them, although I will say it's kind of interesting. At stoplights, it'll give you this depress fully, or I can't remember exactly what the wording is, if you want to activate the automatic start stop. So you don't have to use that. I know a lot of people are not big fans. You kind of have the option. You can step on the brakes enough to bring the vehicle to a complete stop and you're fine. Then you can step on the brakes all the way, really press it down, and the engine will turn off temporarily. Your choice. An 8-inch infotainment touchscreen is standard. We have the 14-inch one though, and wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard. We also have the fully digital driver information display, so digital gauge cluster, which I think looks really nice. I do like that a lot. This larger infotainment display really just makes things bigger, and frankly, this is not that interesting of a screen. Like, there's not a lot going on here. This is the nicest looking view. Everything else is pretty boring. I mean, I don't have Apple CarPlay connected right now, which would look like Apple CarPlay does, but this is what we've got. Now, if you buy this vehicle, I'm gonna save you some time right now. You're gonna wanna go into settings and general, and right here, screen beeps. See how I have that turned off? That's because, listen to that. It's so shrill, it's horrible. I don't know who approved that. I hate it. Turning it right back off, not good. Now, the other thing tech-wise that's worth mentioning is we do have the head-up display. That is optional on some trims, not every trim. The only one where it's standard is Capstone, and it seems like one of those things that a lot of people are Googling. So just wanted to mention it. It's a $600 option. Safety is a strong priority for Toyota, even for its trucks. And for 2025 and 2026, the Tundra was the only vehicle in its class to earn a Top Safety Pick or Top Safety Pick Plus award from the IIHS. So strong credentials and great peace of mind if you're looking at this as a part-time or full-time family vehicle. These are good things to have. The Toyota Safety Sense 2.5 suite is standard, so that means that every single 2026 Toyota Tundra is going to get adaptive cruise control, lane departure alert with steering assist, automatic high beams, and a pre-collision system with pedestrian detection. There are a lot of other standard features, but those are the ones that stuck out to me. And what's not standard is a trailer detection system and rear cross traffic alert and blind spot monitoring. So those are important things to be aware of. They start on the limited trim as standard. They're available on the SR5. You cannot get them on the SR at all. Her as-tested price today comes to $73,300 after destination, which is a little over $2,000, so not cheap. Base price for the 2026 Toyota Tundra is $43,355. And then for the SR5 trim, which seems to be very popular, and I think is the one that a lot of people are going to be shopping for, that comes to $48,605 after destination. To that, you are going to need to add $2,000 if you want the Crew Max cab, $3,000 if you want four-wheel drive, about $2,600 if you want the package that includes heated seats, and about $1,000 if you want blind spot monitoring and front and rear parking assist. At this point, you're a little over $57,000, so you might as well look at the limited trim because that comes standard with those extra driver assistance features, and it's got heated and ventilated front seats. So, is the 2026 Toyota Tundra a good buy? That depends on what you want it for. If it's towing, you could do better. If it's comfort, you could do better. If it's fuel economy, you could certainly do better, especially if you want to look at the diesel Silverado. But if safety is a top priority for you, or if what you're really looking for is a good all-rounder with a strong and rebounding reputation for reliability that's likely to hold its value, this is worth a look. And of course, if what you really want is a full-size Toyota truck, well then, sold. I've covered what's new for the 2026 Tundra today, and if you don't need those specific things, you might consider shopping used or looking a little bit earlier in the generation to save some money. Keep an eye on our price trends page. You'll find real-time market info there. And when you're shopping our inventory, look out for the good deal and great deal badges. Those are going to be really helpful. We've got video reviews up on earlier model years of the Tundra, as well as most, if not all, competitors, and of course, written reviews and our car comparison pages over on our website. All of this is here to support your shopping journey. Let us know how we did today, and please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.